Hi, my name is Dr. Brian Curtis, and I'm one of the paleontologists here at Fossil Crates. And I'm here to talk to you about the 2021 Chewly Chompionship. But specifically, I want to go over all of the opponents in the championship. So we'll start with the lightweight class, and we'll start with the lowest ranked seed, number 8. Number 8 is Struthiomimus, the Ostrich Mimic. Now this near 20 foot long, roughly 1,000 pound ostrich with a long tail and massively sharp claws seems to be funny to be in this tournament. Why is it here? Well, it's the fastest of all of the competitors. Some believe it goes over 40 miles an hour. Think ostrich. The tail would have allowed it extraordinary maneuverability. And though it lacks teeth, it's the only competitor that lacks teeth, this particular animal has massive claws. I mean, look at this. This is just one of 3 claws. It's got hand claws and foot claws that are wicked. Long arms would have been able to have slashed and crashed. Now, some people have hypothesized these long claws and long arms might have been used to pull down branches and gently eat leaves. I don't think so. I think that this was truly like a modern day ostrich, or more akin to a roadrunner. It hunted down critters. I've watched roadrunners chase lizards jetting across at full speed, and lizards are fast. So I think that, at least in the tournament, Struthiomimus is going to have to use its speed and its maneuverability and its long reach and slashing if it has any shot to win. That's why it's seeded number 8, but it's got some promise. The number 7 seed in the 2021 Chewly Chompionship is a surprise, Ceratosaurus. Now, Ceratosaurus is a lot bigger animal than I realized when I went and looked at its skull recently. It surprised me at the size of its skull. Its teeth are blades, and it's loaded with the blades. It's clearly famous for its nasal horn, but that nasal horn was not being used in combat. All of the bumps and bosses on its head were likely for species recognition or sexual dimorphism or some kind of mate display or threat display. So, Ceratosaurus, very powerful animal with a big bite, sharp teeth. Weight-wise, it likely was a little heavier. It seems to have used some wrestling tricks to drop into the 1,500 pound bracket, to the weight limit. And how it got number 7, a lot of folks have said that that is way underrepresenting its speed and power within this tournament. Many people have said that it should have been higher up in the rankings. But it is what it is. We have it at number 7. So let's see how Ceratosaurus does with its speed and power and massive bite. The number 6 ranked lightweight in the 2021 Chewly Chompionship, Dilophosaurus, the Two-Crested Lizard, is from my home state of Arizona, and I'm proud of that animal. It's been found in 2 locales with skulls and cranial material that shows the 2 crests. It's got a great history in terms of people not realizing it had 2 crests originally. Those crests are very thin and delicate. It was not using those crests in combat. It was using them for display, for showing off to get mates, to maybe it could flush and display. Definitely open for interpretation, but it wasn't being used in combat. But what it was doing is not like Jurassic Park with the teeny little guys in the spitter with the collar. No, this animal was over 20 feet long, 1,200 plus pounds. It was the apex predator in the Jurassic where it lived. Here's a tooth. This tooth would have been on the top of the animal's mouth. And if you look at the animal, it has what's called a subnarial gap. It gives it that sneer. And its largest teeth are back in that particular region. Some folks have hypothesized that maybe it was eating fish, but it has plenty powerful jaw. It's got some nice claws, some good teeth, some good toe claws and hand claws, reasonable speed. Dilophosaurus is an animal that don't sleep on Dilophosaurus. It's got popularity on its side too, and since this is voting by the people for the people, be very curious to see if Dilophosaurus is rewarded for its great artwork and wonderful TV presence and movie presence, or if Dilophosaurus is going to be cast aside. I'm personally hoping Dilophosaurus goes deep into the tournament, being from my home state. The number 5 competitor in our 2021 Chewly Championship is one that might be new to a lot of you. Shaochilong is a Carcharodontosaurid that lived in Mongolia. Now, why is that surprising? Well, up until this animal's discovery, all Carcharodontosaurids were known from Gondwana, basically South America and Africa. However, finding this in Asia was revelatory. Also, Carcharodontosaurs have really cool blade teeth designed to just rip through flesh. They were not fighting armored creatures like those in Western North America, the Tyrannosaurs, for instance. But these folks were taking out massive chunks of flesh in single bites. Shaochilong is a great animal. It was actually originally called Chelantosaurus, a different species, way back in 1964. But researchers this century relook at the material and says, yeah, this is something new and different. And this tooth is classic Carcharodontosaur. You may know its bigger cousins, such as the heavyweights Tyrannotitan, Giganotosaurus, and Carcharodontosaurus. So Shaochilong, it'll be really exciting to see how it performs in the tourney. It's up against the number 4 seed, which also is from Mongolia, Alioramus, and we have a toe claw here of Alioramus. Alioramus is a tyrannosaurid, and it's quite the tyrannosaurid with crazy cool ornamentation on its skull. The most ornamented tyrannosaurid. Possibly got much larger. Our particular specimen we know is a juvenile, or we believe to be a juvenile. And in this particular tournament, it is coming in right at under the weight limit and around 23 feet long. It is a big, powerful, biting tyrannosaur. So you've got powerful, biting tyrannosaurid at your number 4 seed. The number 3 seed is an all-time classic ever since it was named, Utahraptor. And fossilcrates.com sells the only version of the Utahraptor hand claw that exists. All of the specimens that are on display are actually using toe claws, and they're erroneous. Not their fault. When it was named, the very first character was giant hand claw, and that's understandable because they were disarticulated. So no blame goes around. Science marches on. This toe claw, however, this killing claw, 7+ inches long. You have to add a keratinous sheath. It was kept off the ground. Amazingly wicked. This animal would have weighed somewhere in the range of 1,300 pounds, over 20 feet in length. Its hand claws are shocking in how recurved they are. Recurved claws are seen if you look at an eagle's foot claw, for instance. They're designed to rip, puncture, tear, and rend. These hand claws were extremely sharp. In combined with the killing toe claw, Utahraptor had speed, power, a massive bite, and weapons like no other animal. Utahraptor only ranked at number 3. Some argue it should have been number 1. The number 2 rated lightweight, some argue shouldn't even be a lightweight, Megalosaurus, just barely squeaked in at the 1,500 pounds even mark when it weighed on the scales. Over 20 feet long, it is the oldest known dinosaur in the tournament by name, named by none other than Gideon Mantell. We're talking 1820s, one of the big initial 3 dinosaurs, along with Iguanodon and Hylaeosaurus. This particular animal has a gorgeously preserved jaw with a beautiful tooth and showed its primitive, massive capability with its powerful jaw, hand claws, powerful legs. This is your quintessential theropod. And being large for a lightweight, this animal should go deep into the tournament. But what was ranked number 1? Well, none other than this. This is a Megaraptor claw. This is actually a new Megaraptorid claw, unknown and new to science. But for now, we're going to use it as a proxy for Megaraptor proper, which his claw was even larger than this one. This is a hand claw. When it was originally found, it was thought to be a toe claw, and it was thought to be the largest dromaeosaurid, aka raptor, a la Utahraptor. However, scientists realized this was actually a hand claw. It had 3 hand claws on long, strong arms. The Megaraptorids are not closely related to the dromaeosaurids, despite the raptor in the names, but the Megaraptorids were their own group of dinosaurs. They lived in Gondwana. They were high speed, high powered. You can find them in Japan, in Thailand, Australia, and Argentina, and a number of other locales. These animals all have the same characteristics of these massive hand claws, plus speed. These animals were stuff of nightmare. We're talking 80s slasher flicks right here. Number 1 rated seed because it's also big, over 20 feet long, nearing 1,500 pounds. This animal was a ball of fury.